That's a unique card. So the situation's unique. That's interesting. That lends itself to the idea that maybe already Canada isn't what you think it is, and they don't need a referendum to leave Canada because Canada's already dismantled. That's what I'm thinking. And I know it sounds ludicrous, but if any of the Q stuff's right and what I've been getting's right at all, that'll be the case, guys, right? But a lot of people are getting so discouraged with how long everything's taking, and I get it, right? But that doesn't mean the cards are wrong about it. Like I tend to hang in there and wait and see, because being a card reader for all these years, I've seen things take a lot longer and sometimes a lot shorter than what the cards perceive them. And it could even just be my perception of timing, okay, as the reader using the tools, right? So I could be getting the timing wrong. And because we're just humans here, just trying to figure this stuff out, right? That's the whole idea. Okay, so yeah, it's saying here it's already, I feel like they will get stopped, they will be blocked, and they will be held up. So it'll look like they're getting it, and then they get stepped back from it. I feel like a lot of disappointments and setbacks, but I also feel like that'll be sort of the deep fake. In other words, I feel like it's already changed to the benefit, and I don't think they need the referendum to move away. I think the whole exercise is just to wake people up. So yeah, they won't technically get it, and it'll look like they're getting held up because they're trying to out the corrupt systems by letting you see their true colors. Wow. Okay. In a way, I liked that it said that, because that means a lot of the things I've been getting are likely true then, according to what I'm getting. Okay, so update on Holland's trial against the elites. Okay, so a similar situation here. In Holland, some lawyers are taking some elites, and not just Bill Gates, but in particular Bill Gates, crimes against humanity, and also for the COVID crimes. Okay, so the crimes of them putting forth this fake pandemic, and then having the audacity to create the situation in the whole world to be locked down, and all the stuff that happened after that. So in Holland, they're having this big trial. And remember, what was his name? Rennick Fuelrich? Did I get that right? Rainier Fuelmich. Yeah, I hope I said his name right, but you guys know I don't always say names right. So this guy supposedly got arrested after putting on so he's a German guy, and he's a lawyer, and him and a group of his buddies there, they put on a big mock trial and took these guys, to task or to court in their mock trial for crimes against humanity, all of the people involved. And this, I believe, was in 2023. Correct me in the comments if I got the year wrong. And then he got picked up on a bogus charge coming out of Mexico or something like that, or traveling to Mexico. And he got picked up and thrown in jail. Now, this is according to the news, okay? I looked at it several times and I got it's part of the theater that he got picked up, and he's not really in jail, just like the J6ers. Maybe they're in hiding somewhere, but I don't believe they're in those horrible jails that they were reported to be. I hope I'm right about that, because if it's true, it was horrifying how all these people are being treated over just trying to get the truth out there. Okay, and that does happen all over the world, that people do get persecuted, of course, for trying to get the truth out. But I have a feeling that a lot of this is psyoped at this point. But the feeling comes from what the cards have been saying. Okay, so that being said, we're asking update on the Holland trials against the elites. Now it's gone to a high court, and it's up to them whether this goes ahead or not. Are the high courts corrupt or going to be shown to be corrupt and block this trial, okay, against, for instance, Bill Gates? Okay, let's have a look. And there are lots of digging to do around there. If you want to go on a deep dive, just, be my guest, because, yeah, I'm just giving you the tip of the iceberg on that. There's lots more to it. That's like a deep state card. Interesting. And there's the truth card. Okay, so we got a bit of theater again. I feel like we have theater for the normies. Okay, see this card here? This is a theater or theatrical card. And they're presenting it like these guys are up against, so it's like the Goliath of the system is, David and Goliath kind of story here. These lawyers are trying, presenting the lawyers, just like the Renier guy. They're presenting them like they're the Davids, and then the system is Goliath. And it's quite interesting. And same story here. I feel like this is all part of the theater. And it's already been, like, I think Bill Gates has already been rounded up, and I don't think it'll go all the way to a big court. I think before it gets there, see that held up card here, all of this gets revealed that's what's going on. Boy, I sure hope that's true. Okay. Yeah, I really visualize and intend, not hope. I guess hope's a weak word. I visualize and intend that to be true. I support that and want to help manifest that. Let's say it that way. Now, is 3-Eye Atlas a return of the Anunnaki, like some people are claiming? Okay, so again, this is going to be a rabbit hole time for you guys if you don't know who the Anunnaki is. And a lot of people talk about this as if they know about it. Some of them might for real, but a whole bunch of them don't actually, as far as I'm concerned. Like, who's the Anunnaki? Are we even saying it right? We don't know, of course. What do they really want to be called? But so it's a group of alien entities. Okay, and they're saying that they're returning, and some people say they're bad. I don't know what this particular version of them, that drawing of them, looked like. Maybe they were the bad Anunnaki, and some people say they're good and mean well for humanity. Okay, so that's the rabbit hole part of it. But the person just asked in the comments, is it a return? So is 3-Eye Atlas a return of these creatures, whether they're bringing good or bad to the world? Now, whenever I look at it, and I have people said, oh, you should deep dive on 3-Eye Atlas. I've been looking at it throughout the weeks. You got to watch the public shows. A lot more things come out on the public shows because we got other people to do the deep diving and ask the questions. And that really is helpful for a tarot card reader to get all the right questions. I don't proclaim to be any kind of a researcher, okay? Not even close. I just read the cards, okay? So it's helpful that Jean-Claude works with me, or whoever else I'm on a show with, and they actually put forth some really great questions. And in the comments, when you do leave questions, it's also going to be helpful if you left a link for everybody else of something you're talking about that's, recent or current and has a link to go with it, and or more information about what do you mean, because we don't know, did the person asking that question mean the good Anunnaki or perceived good Anunnaki, or the bad, or do they mean us harm? We don't know the details of what they meant by that, but we're just going to stick with the question, is this the return of? So is 3-Eye Atlas, the Anunnaki, coming back, revisiting the earth, if they ever really were here? Because I'm not convinced myself. I'm thinking they maybe we're really talking about the Elohim, but I don't know, right? I haven't a clue. the cards seem to lean towards that, but maybe we're even talking about the same entities and we're just interchanging the words, right? See, this is where it gets so confusing when we talk about these otherworldly beings, because who exactly knows? How do we know they know? We don't know, right? We don't know until they come and sort of introduce themselves. I'm just not convinced just because somebody gets on and says, yeah, they met some otherworldly entities and this is what they called themselves. Oh, isn't that interesting? We got a big old yes, though. It's definitely a yes, that it's a return. Okay, but this card indicates maybe it's slightly different than what we're calling it. Okay, because this card says, okay, so we got some of that right. Okay, this is defending their honor. So it's a group defending their honor, definitely a return. We've got the sun. Oh, isn't that interesting? That could have something to do with children or the taking of children. Or I wonder if this group, like depending on what was underneath it, would describe this card. And that's kind of like a childlike innocence card. I wonder if this group is good or bad. I'm not really getting. See, this card doesn't say they're good or bad. So maybe one of the names of them is Anunnaki. Okay. Maybe that's one of the things you could call them, but it is a return of a group. And the group is, so it's an alien energy group that's been here before. And this card says, it's unique maybe to what we're asking. So we're asking the Anunnaki, maybe we say the name wrong, or maybe there's different names it goes by. Okay, so we've got the sun in the past. So that's interesting. The sun, coming from the sun. But underneath it, we've got the 8, or hiding behind the sun. I wonder if they're in a galaxy with another sun, first of all. I wonder if they came here and they really, in the past, and they really liked, or part of the reason they were attracted to here was our sun and the energy that our sun delivers. Maybe they collected some of that energy. So that's interesting, because I'm not really getting evil towards children with these two. This doesn't feel like, this feels more like something to do with the sun that is now seems to be held up for them. Okay, so they used to come here and maybe harvest. I wonder if, but I don't get children per se, but I'm going to pull a clarifier just in case that is talking about children. I feel like something they can't get anymore, and it has to do with the sun, but it might literally be children. So it'll depend on what we get here. Now we've got the 9 of Cups here in the near future. So that's interesting. People will be fascinated. And a lot of people who talk about these alien entities are going to be, even the general population is going to be really excited to meet this bunch. Okay. Because they really look like they're physically coming here. Like, I think they're going to somehow make their presence really known, and not just to scientists, right? I think we're gonna get to see these guys somehow. That's what that feels like, regular folks. Okay, but this card is around how to be with them, maybe. So it's advice. So this card is, so feel in the moment what your body feels like, okay, and be ready to move with how you're emotionally feeling. Okay, and try not to focus too much on an emotional intention towards them. In other words, having your own perceived, like, don't try to project your perceived emotional process onto these guys. I feel like, yeah, I've got that before too with Jean-Claude. They're not, they're very, very, very good at hiding their emotions, and they don't have maybe the same emotional body structure somehow, or energetically using their emotions in the same way. And they also have a lot of potential to be either way, good or bad. I don't think they're necessarily coming here all in love and light, but I'm not saying they're coming here to hurt us either. I feel like they're coming here to feel out what to do next with us and or how to approach. I feel like they're building understanding here of what's going on over here. What they're getting an update on what's going on here. They left a long time ago. They're getting an update. Oh, I wanted to pull one on that. For something physically. Okay, I feel like they literally harvested something that came from the sun. They literally I get it's children. Okay, I feel like it's energy. So when they first came, for all intents and purposes, we can call them the Anunnaki. When they first came, this alien group, let's say, they harvested energy. They took it and used it, and it was coming from our sun. So that was one of the reasons they hung out here, this group that I'm getting. Anyway, wow. Pieces of the puzzle are starting to fit together with that. That's fascinating. Okay. Now let's see. Can the UK trust Nigel Farage? Oh, hang on a sec. One before that. Why all the fear porn about Muslims taking over the world? So that was somebody's question. I'm quoting it. Okay. And it is true. There's been so many videos. It's all over. If you're on X or Telegram, it's all over. And they're all saying, yeah, these guys are taking over the world. They make way more babies than we do. They're praying in all of these places. They'll show a picture of downtown Toronto and show that it's basically all Muslims downtown and there's no Christians anymore. It's almost like they're trying to replace Christians with Muslims. That's what it looks like in these video clips. Okay. Now, are the video clips, in fact, could there be a lot of planted? Are we getting this fear porn stirred up to what? Get us against them, prepare us for something? Was it the deep state plan because they, of course, have placed a lot of these people in countries, okay, that aren't Muslim countries normally, okay, but if you look at London now, it's being taken over. Now, this is according to what X is showing us and Telegram showing us. It's literally being taken over. Even the king, okay, Charlie Pants, he's actually nodding, dressing like a Muslim and nodding to the culture, even though he's the head of the UK Protestant church, which I know is called the England, I believe it's called the England Church of England. That's it. Sorry. When I get excited, I can't get the words out properly. So the Church of England, he's the head of it. Okay. The monarchy supposedly is the head of. Okay. I know that that's not really Prince Charles or King Charlie we're looking at, but so what's the deal here? Do we need to fear that all over the US, Canada, and especially Europe and UK, that because they've had 20 years ahead of us, they've been getting thousands and thousands and thousands of Muslims from these countries placed in their communities. And the people, according to these videos that they keep sharing, okay, they don't seem to like anybody except their own culture. Now, this is interesting because I know some really awesome Muslim people. Okay, and I'm not saying I don't like any organized religions. I don't like Christianity. I like individual Christian people, but I don't like anything that's too organized. Okay, any kind of spirituality. So absolutely, definitely don't like women being made to wear that black garb that sometimes they're. I know a bunch of Muslim people, though, that don't wear that, okay, and are really nice people. So it's very confusing to me because I feel like we're getting played, and maybe they're using those people to play everybody. Okay, it feels like they're being used. They put them all in these places and then get these videos. Like they even broadcast their prayers really loud in Canadian cities, US cities, and European cities. Okay, that is a step too far. If they broadcasted a Christian service, that would be too far for me too. I don't want anybody's spiritual experience interfering with the way I do things. Okay, I don't need it. I don't want it. I don't want to see it. It's none of my business. Like, as long as they're not hurting their own people, which potentially they are actually, if you look into it. And according to a lot of these videos being circulated, they're cruel to the women. Their, doctrines are abusive even, and in particular to children, women, infants, children. Pedophilia, it seems to be ripe in the doctrine of the, if you really read into it. But if you read into, really got a good version of, in the true versions of the Bible, I wonder if it would have some weird shit in there too. I think it does actually. And who knows what was already taken out of there. But anyway, I'm just saying something weird's going on and there's an agenda afloat there. That is my feeling. I get the spidey sense when they're pushing it out constantly all over social media. It's like, why are they getting everybody stirred up about that? And is it true? And why are they dumping all of these people, using them? Why do these people even agree to go all over the world, their countries that they, so they try to portray it like these people only love the Muslim culture, but yet they're living in all of these Christian countries, but they don't like Christianity and they want to kill all the Christians. That's how they're presenting it in these videos. Okay, so is any of that true? Is the way they're presenting it in the videos I'm talking about, and all you got to do is go look on X and Telegram, you'll see them. I circulate them all the time just to show you what's out there. Okay, I'm not agreeing with them, disagreeing, I don't know, right? I feel like it's a big agenda and I'm not sure what they're getting at there. So we're going to look all around it. Is there truth, first of all, to the videos circulating that these guys are literally have an agenda? Have they been all brainwashed, or some of them have they been radicalized and brainwashed? This is what they're trying to get us to believe, that they're going to, and all of a sudden just take over all these countries. Yeah, it is fascinating. Okay, so look at this. We've got judgment card. So that's a wake-up call in a big set. So that's a wake the hell up kind of card. Okay, and we've got the 4. So there's certainly something going on under the surface that we're not being told about. So we're being told those things I was just talking about, but there's something else going on that we're not being told about. It's absolutely a wake-up call. And look at this. It's coming from gossip and innuendo. Okay, so a fear, maybe people's fears. Boom. Okay, so a lot of the videos and footage, it has been created. So when you see a group of them praying, okay, and having their prayers broadcasted, I feel like it's a psyop. Like maybe that is really happening, but like just the regular folks aren't doing it. They're being used in a big psyop, and there's something else going on, or it's trying to show you something. Okay, so that's fascinating. I feel like it's just showing us that this has been an agenda. It was literally an agenda to, so I believe that to be true. So think about, the migration and how they're just literally taking these people, mostly men, not even families, but, sometimes families too, but mostly just sort of 30s, 20s, 30s men. And younger, so they're saying fighting age men. Okay, so there's a lot of these people being plunked in really places that really they don't fit in whatsoever. Okay, and they're not they're not integrating, and they're even so it appears that they're trying to make everybody else conform. So you can't bring your dogs in public places in some places in the UK, or somebody's going to complain about it because a lot of these people are afraid of dogs. And that happens to be true, because I had lots of clientele from Muslim countries that actually would phone ahead of time before they come for a reading and say, can you make sure if you have a dog or a cat that you get them out of the vicinity? Because these people, like maybe somebody would be speaking on behalf of somebody who is coming. And if they're from these countries, they don't like dogs and cats, especially in the house. Okay, but I'm sure some of them do, but it seems like that happens to be true because I've had experience with that. Okay, now that is very interesting that it looks like this is all trying to wake people up to these agendas. Okay, so it's a further agenda and fear porn, and it looks like it's the Alliance doing it. There we go. Okay, and it looks like it's a really good idea they're doing it because so many people were not aware that this was a big agenda. Okay, so they're so busy. So they were also, so the deep state, when it was originally an agenda, until I believe this deep state already has capitulated to a large degree. And that's where all of that stuff, I think, the cards have been saying for years comes in handy, because it does make sense right now that they're trying to out these agendas. Okay, so I know that was long-winded, but it is fascinating. And I know you guys see it out there. If you're on any of these social media platforms, you're seeing it everywhere. Now, what was that one? Can the UK trust Nigel Farage? Okay, so this guy, lots of UKers really like this guy. Lots of them write me and say, yep, this is a good guy. I don't trust any politicians. Look what just happened with Danielle Smith. So many people were so excited because she spoke out against the agendas of the lockdowns, but then she turns around and she's banning, or having a lot to do with banning and making it illegal to have ivermectin in Alberta. Okay, like what? Okay, so she's obviously not a good person, okay, or she's just I think part of the movie, okay, because what they've been doing is they've been getting you to like some of these people and then having them really show their true colors. And I wonder if they're even going to eventually do that with Trump. I mean, some people believe that's already happening. Okay, but anyway, so far the cards don't say that that's true, by the way. The cards say something's going to turn around with him. But anyway, so let's go. Can the UK trust Nigel Farage? Let's have a look. Okay, something in his past is going to come up. So just like all of these guys, he's not squeaky clean either. Yeah, I feel like they need altogether different people. None of these people educated in the way they educate political sciences and the way they go through, like how they would even get to be considered a high position, like where Nigel Farage is sitting, already is suspect, and it was controlled by the deep state at some point, even if they've capitulated since then. So I'd say that he never really gets all the way up to a place where he's doing good. And it's probably a good thing, because I feel like he's been compromised at some point, even though they're putting him forward as a good guy. So they've been doing this. They did that with the governor of Florida, remember? Yeah, so they've been doing this, and then look at what they started out, it was Dan Bongino or whatever his name is there, and his buddy Kash Patel. Okay, they started looking real good too, and then they're all iffy. Like it's crazy. It's all a big theater, you guys. Oh my God. And I'm not saying just ignore it because of that and just eat popcorn. I'm not saying we have to be involved here. Okay, but you do need to realize a lot of this is a theater. Okay, let's see. I think we had one more. Will the White Hat Alliance team define themselves and come back to the grace or come back in the good books of the truther community? Because right now, I'd say a lot of people are questioning that whole bunch, right? And I'm getting like nonstop emails and questions, and so many people in the comments in our live shows are just really confused by what these guys have been up to. It's been a really tough June and July with these guys, and then August isn't going too much better so far. So what I got in my zodiac spread was at some point in August, Trump would kind of move the ship around, turn it around, so he doesn't look like he's really a cabal guy. But a lot of people are thinking all the weird stuff he's doing a mixture though, so he's really confusing everybody. Okay, now I steadily think it's a psyop, and whatever he's doing, there's a big calm to it. Okay, I've been getting that. So I don't question that, but people do question it, a lot of them. So I have to address it. Okay. And it's important to keep, an eye on this, because we don't know what's going on. And it's important to ask these questions. You got to put your big girl panties on, and you got to look at these things, even if it's scary or you don't want to appear foolish or wrong about something. None of that matters. We're just trying to get to the truth here. Will the White Hat Alliance Trump team, redeem themselves, okay, after the shit show that's been going on in June, July, and part of August here? Let's have a look. And I mean in the truther community, okay? I'm not talking about in general. Because most of the people watching, they already either hated them anyway already, and there's nothing you can do, or they're patriots and some of them just aren't noticing. But we're not talking the woo community. Now, the question is for the woo community. Will this bunch redeem themselves? That's who I'm asking about. Okay, so I feel like, right now they're being made to look like, you're being made to question, are these guys deep state too? Okay, because we're only going to be okay with somebody who's not. Okay, so I feel like that's part of the illusion that they're doing. That's part of the psyop, is they want you to only be okay with. So they're putting out these trial balloons and getting everybody to question. And yes, they will. Yes, they will. I feel like they will. They'll come around, but they're absolutely doing the confusion on purpose. Okay. And it's helping people really understand what they will and won't put up with. And even if they have to let go of the idea that in the background, there's a government that was actually working on the behalf of humans, okay, they'll willing to go it alone. You have to be willing to stand on your own 2 feet and stand in truth, even if these guys weren't standing with you anymore. Because, hey, like that's how it works in the world, right? You have to personally know yourself what your truth is. You can't hitch your wagon onto anybody else. Okay. And I feel like they're trying to get that through. And I feel like they're that's something they've been doing, but I feel like towards the end of the month here, and even by mid-month, it should start slowing up on that, and we should start seeing them come back around and looking like they're for your freedom. Thank goodness, because it's a confusing time right now. It's probably going along with the astrology right now as well. Some really weird astrology has been happening, but I feel like we might be moving into a better time astrologically as well. I'll have to ask Meg just to be sure, but thank you so much, everybody, for watching my video, and do take care. Sending you ravens. Bye-bye. We got too into stuff. It was a lot of fun though.
They poo-pooed it.
It was kicked off this and kicked off that. So we've had to really fight our way back, both our separate ways back into, of course, I started my website.
And I have my YouTube.
She has YouTube still. And also, don't you have a Patreon?
I have a Patreon. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do personal readings.
Yeah. And I do shout out how to get a hold of it. And we will again, how to get a hold of Ashley to get a personal reading. And I absolutely highly recommend. She was trained by the best.
The best.
She took all my classes for years and years. She studied for years before she was brave enough, but I thought she could have started a lot earlier. But
gentle perfectionist. I'm sure I knew everything that I needed to know, but of course I wanted to take it, and I helped you, and we set up together. And now I'm working on my own course.
Yeah, she's got her own course, and we'll let you guys know when it comes out. Also, aren't you, don't you have a bit of a book to go with that?
Yes. So it'll be a nice little hard copy that you can take home, which will be really good, or the online option. Yeah, there's going to be a slow release into what I'm teaching, and that's the first course I'm working on at the moment. And then there's a few other ones coming in.
Yeah, I'm so excited for that. And I'll let everybody know when it's all available. I'll let you guys know. So don't worry about it. Okay. It'll be on, you know me, I'll shout it out.
Yeah,
for sure. Let's see if some pictures of what we've been up to here. Did we already show those?
No.
What's going on there?
This was the beginning of the full moon, I believe. We were in the backyard. My good old salty sweater.
Friday night, wasn't it?
Right.
But, just before the full moon?
I think this was Friday or Saturday. I think this was Saturday.
Was it Saturday?
Yeah.
Right. That's right.
The good old beach. Yes. Our salty beach to match my salty sweater.
That's the East Beach. Yeah. In the Haida Gwaii in Talel.
So warm that day. It's been the whole weekend was amazing. Yeah. It was good.
Oh yeah, this is from that same evening.
It was later that evening as the moon was cut. This is the moon, guys. The moon was coming up, and it looks like the sunshine going down. It was so bright. Such
a beautiful. Like I had to get the shot because it was such a beautiful scene. And this is that area I was talking about behind my house that Winona got married in. So my niece, I call her my niece. She's not technically my niece, but in my heart, she's my niece. Her and her fella got married here just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
What are you doing there?
Oh, living it up at the music festival. God, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun. So many performers, great food. Oh my God.
So this was Edge of the World Festival.
Edge of the World Fest 2025. So good. If you get a chance to see it, 10 out of 10. Yeah, it was great.
Right on.
Oh. Me and the Sasquatch.
Yeah. Ashley found a Sasquatch, or a Gogeet, as they're called, the Haida people here. This is the Haida Gwaii, and they call it a Gogeet.
Oh my God.
Okay, well, we went through all the pictures.
The beach day.
That's more beach.
Wearing my Tammy jewels.
And I think there it is. Yeah.
Right, the agate.
That's an agate, and they're hard to find.
That, especially the ones like that, that's super clear.
That's a really nice
I always find
agate.
the sugar ones, the white ones.
Yeah, so we were super excited about this particular agate, okay? Yeah, and it was like it called to us. We just pulled over and went down this beach road, me saying, I don't know why, but we got to go down to this beach.
You went straight down.
And I went straight to the stone and picked it up. And that, it all happened within minutes of me just having that intuition. Yeah. So sometimes stones just call you.
Right. And, if you're meant to find it, it's going to
find feathers. You. Feathers do that too.
I love it.
Awesome.
Such a fun weekend.
Yeah. So I know we're in world news, so you guys are going to want to hear some world news for sure. So we just really wanted to touch base with everybody because there's a lot of people on the website here who remember the Deep Dive Fridays, ask about it all the time. And I knew you'd want to see Ashley. I knew you'd want to touch base. But she's going to help me look at this one question here, and then I'm going to go on to finish a couple more questions. We're going to ask about this Michael Sala interview with George. I'm going to see if I can't do too bad of a job on his last name here. Kavasilis. Have a look at this video here. so you guys can see how he spells his last name, because yeah, for sure I'm going to botch it. So I'm not going to try it again. But so Michael Sala, and and I got to be honest, I don't always watch his stuff, but certainly when I watched this, because so many people sent it to me, this video, it did, what this guy was saying, what this George fellow was saying really made a lot of sense to what I was getting about the 3-eye atlas situation. Now, here's the fun thing. Ashley hasn't heard anything about it. I don't know. You living under a rock over there in Calgary?
Apparently, right? Well, I'm living in the big city under the rocks. Yeah.
She just she goes more into the spiritual stuff, Ashley.
But this is kind of up my alley.
It is kind of,
right? Like, I love the weird alien things.
So this entity is been spotted and is on its way to Earth, and it's not. At first, they were saying it was a comet. We'll tell her this much. They were saying it was a comet, but it's the movements of it and the colors of it and the way it erratically moves and even adjusts its movements to different outside stimulus, etc., is making them or got them to believe that it's an actual sentient being and or spaceship with beings in it. Okay, so that we'll say that much. And what this interview reveals is that apparently it's, according to this George fellow, he says it's 3 returning Jedi-like admirals. Okay, so you have to watch the whole video to get like all the details of why he says that.
The full deets.
Yeah, and he's saying that they are basically sick of waiting for the disclosure of governments. They know that'll likely never happen. So they're going to do it on humanity's behalf. They're going to disclose about aliens or about what's been going on in the universe. And to be honest, I got that. Okay, you guys remember with all my shows with Beyond Mystic, Jean-Claude and I can't remember how long, 6 months ago, maybe you guys can fill in the blanks here, because my memory is pretty bad, but I did get that there was a time was going to come in the near future. So 6 months is the near future when you're doing a card reading. Mm-hmm. A time would come when these beings would just go, okay, screw those governments. We're going to do this ourselves and let these guys know. And they were going to contact us personally. You guys remember? I said that several times on many shows. So it's pretty fascinating that either this guy's been watching my shows, just kidding, or literally we're on the same page with that. So we want to just see how much truth it is. So you'll have to go watch the video after you're done watching this one and have a look at what all he's saying. But we're basically looking at, is that true? Are these some kind of admirals from outer space, been here before, they're coming back, and they're going to disclose what's been going on, disclose a lot of our history, disclose really how much interaction we've had with aliens, all that kind of stuff. So let's have a look at that. Okay. I'll shuffle and then you choose a pile. How's that?
Sounds good.
And we're both going to read the cards on it. Let's have a look.
Both get.
Oh.
I was gonna go.
I'm gonna do that again. Okay, universe. Oh, I'm doing it again. No, you pick the pile.
Let's go middle.
I was telling Coco, my brain didn't really wake up with me this morning, so
retrograde is over.
Retrograde's over, but
the shadow period is real.
It's real. Okay, so if I'm feeling a little scattered, that's what's going on. Okay, so
loving it.
On the truth of this. Oh boy.
All right.
A victory.
We like it.
Wow. And a major arcana, which is a yes for me.
Yeah.
First card down.
And it's the Lovers, which is good.
Oh my goodness.
We go.
Two major arcanas and one's the World.
Big yes.
And the World is like a full circle.
Right.
So they're coming around full circle again.
Ace of Cups.
Going to be really creative with the truth. They're going to be really, they found a creative way to disclose. And isn't that interesting?
It's like hidden. or what we know or what we're getting isn't the full truth, which is usually the case, right? So it does look like something's been kept secret. Let's see what the next one is.
And they think it's hurtful, maybe. Maybe they think it's hurtful that our governments haven't told us all the things that have been going on, which it is.
Yeah, or that
it is hurtful.
Yeah.
Oh,
kaboom.
Oh boy. Okay, so that's interesting. So we're further clarifying. So what they've come to say, because this card can be like it's thoughts and words.
Yeah.
So the information could shatter a lot of people's reality. Like it's going to give a huge reality check to the world.
Oh, for sure. It's going to hurt some feelings that a lot of people won't understand it. But that's the same thing when it goes to the whole topic, period. There's lots of people who still don't believe in this.
Yeah, that's true. Right? Also, it could shatter a lot of people's trust in, and no, I don't talk about this community because we already don't trust governments and officialdoms, but it could really, really shatter a lot of people's belief in systems because they'll understand that most of what they were told, like we understand now, was a lie.
A big lie.
Yeah.
Right? Whoa.
And how these people are really living among us. And have been, and energies and entities have come back and forth, and how much input they've had. So, wow.
Okay, well, at least we got some good yeses on that one, so that looks good. And it's well-intentioned yeses.
Yeah, so it looks like this guy's nailing it pretty good. Yeah.
Love it.
Wow, so go watch that video if you get a chance. I'm going to share it actually on my channel.
Do it.
And we're going to thank Ashley for dropping in on her. She's got a busy schedule. She's got lots more to see in the Haida Gwaii.
Lots of relaxing to do.
Lots more fun and relaxing to do. A couple more beaches to hit.
Yep.
North Beach, Gray Bay.
Gray Bay, the river.
Yeah. The weekend's fully booked, let me tell you, peoples.
Yes.
And we'll take lots of pictures, so don't worry about that.
I love it. Okay, you guys enjoy. See you later.
Thanks, Ashley. That was fun. Awesome. Okay. I knew you guys would like it. I knew you'd forgive me for taking up some of your world news time. And furthermore, like, yeah, I thought that question was a huge one because I got about 20 people asking about it, about that particular video and if that was good info. So let's look at this. There's an American teen YouTuber influencer, they're calling him. And you'll have to check the article here for his name, okay, because I didn't catch that. And he's trapped in Antarctica because apparently he took an illegal flight to Antarctica, ended up there. So he's YouTubing it the whole time or whatever. Or he's videoed himself doing this. And now he's actually stuck there. He's trapped in Antarctica 5 weeks after an illegal charity flight to the frozen continent. Now, here's what's interesting. What do they mean by charity flight? So there's a lot of, this just really brought up a lot of questions to me. How did he even get there? What I'm really going to ask right now, though, and what the person who sent this to me wanted to know in particular was, is this story even true? Like, it seems a little bit made up. What do you guys think? Look at what he's wearing, just for starters. And this guy, a guy his age, I guess he's supposed to be 20. He's actually, flying his own plane? Like, what? Okay. No, I don't know. Right? Or he can afford to get somebody to fly him to Antarctica. I don't know. It seems a little bit made up to me, but I don't know. I've never looked at the cards on this yet. So let's see if there's truth to the story. And then you guys go deep diving on what the full story is here. Okay? Because that's not the part I'm interested in. I'm interested in, is there a reason why they're putting out a story like this? Okay, we've got, oh boy. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. It actually looks true because in the first row, we've got the World card again. So that's a really positive major arcana. Also, we've got the Victory card there. Goodness, I really think there is a guy hanging out and who ended up in Antarctica. I think this deserves more of a deep dive. I'm going to have to look into this myself and just see what's going on. No, he really is. He really is there. And it actually looks like he's getting quite, like right now, he's okay with it, but it's going to get a little tricky. It's going to get a little tricky where now he's fearful and they're going to start fearing for his, I don't know, survival or something. So we're going to need to know, I'm going to have to deep dive on what exactly, how is he being sustained there? Okay. Is he running out of food maybe or something? Because this card here says, there's a lot of setbacks and he starts having a lot of setbacks and then it gets really tricky. So this is interesting. And I wonder if it's political, because this card says it's political. So he's detained because we know that it's politically a charged place. There's a lot of hidden things. What Cliff High was suggesting, he's the one that posted that, was that maybe this guy knows too much. He's seen too much, and it does look like he's seen a lot. He's seen a lot and had an eye full, and he is a YouTuber. So I feel like it could get a little dangerous for him, and it could get scary that he's never going to make it back. I believe he will, because this 5 says temporary setbacks, and this is a fear-based card. So I don't think it'll be true, but people will start worrying about that he doesn't make it back. Justice and 10. I wonder if they're going to make him sign something legally that says he can't really talk about some of the things he saw. But I feel like he'll be able to share when he gets back some of the things, but certain things he won't be able to share. So they're going to, they're powers that be in it. And we know that a lot of different governments are invested in what's going on in Antarctica. And there's all kinds of hidden things going on there. He's seen some of them. I don't think he's seen everything, but because that page it's still a page, but he's definitely seen beyond what the rest of us know. He's going to be asked to sign something, it looks like, and maybe that's part of how he gets out of there. So maybe they're just holding him there to scare him so other people don't try that trick. Wow. Okay. So anyone who knows more about that, then I've just disclosed here, like as far as like the details of how he got there, etc., please let us know. That is absolutely fascinating. All right. I'm just going to do one more, guys, because yeah, it's I got to be honest. The retrograde ended, and I don't know what happened, but yeah, I can't stay focused on anything. I got my energies and I only want to be here with quality work. Okay. So I can only do short attention span things right now until I ground my energy. And I think it has something to do with astrological right now. I'm going to have to ask Meg, but I thought it would be fun to share Ashley with you, first of all, and then these important questions, but this is all I'm going to be able to do. So I apologize if you're disappointed in that. But you guys know I love you, and I'll always make up for it some other time when I got the energy. Okay, so Ghislaine, so many names that we could call her, Maxwell, has been, according to this post, and we don't know if there's any truth to it, we're going to ask, cleared to leave prison on work release? What? Okay, is that true? Is this just a story? Now, you guys know, if you've been watching me for any length of time, you would know that I believe Ghislaine was rounded up a long time ago and ratted out a bunch of these guys. And the person that's supposedly in that prison and even got moved recently to a nice cushier prison, that's not really her. Okay, so I don't believe that's her. I feel like maybe she's not even physically been in prison. I feel like she went to Gitmo a long time ago and was processed and or tribunaled, or they're still getting info out of her. I don't know. But I don't believe that's her, and I don't believe she's the one sitting in jail. So most stories that come out about her are just fabricated. And I'm wondering if this is the same thing. Let's have a look if we get that consistency, or is there some truth to that where she's actually being released? the devil, the temperance, magician. So no. So whatever we're hearing about her it's all fabricated, just like I just said. Okay, she's really bad. Okay, and they still got her. And they're doing this for the sake of the public. For some reason, they're setting something up for the sake of the public, getting them to look into it, maybe putting her name out front again so we don't forget about her and what she was up to, getting maybe some outrage. So this is a white hat psyop. And that article is false, and nothing we know about or what we think's happening to her is true, according to my cards. She's long been used by the White Hat Alliance, and they got a lot of info from her and got to do a lot of things and sped up a lot of their work because of what she divulged. But I don't believe any of that article is true. So no, it's a big part of the movie. Thank you so much, everybody. Again, Q drops. Is that what he's doing? So we've got a major arcana. This is my death card, so that's really interesting. He might be cueing and or calming, let's say calming, the deep fakes that have been going on. Okay, that's interesting because this card can also be about deep fakes, by the way. And this is my white hat military card. Okay, but I've been calling good military. So he's somehow getting us to look at that. That would probably be the white hat, the fact that he's wearing a white hat. Because usually the words I say right after white hat, I say good military or white hat military, or I say alliance. All of those words, I usually use them together. Okay, so I think that and also the fact that it's a big old movie you're watching. So 2 major arcanas in the second row is a yes. So he's absolutely doing that, but he's doing some other things too. He's also given a big nod to the white hat military. That's with the hat. That would make sense. He's also giving a nod to how he's been there. He's been the shadow government behind what we thought was, I certainly didn't think, and I bet you most people watching here didn't believe that whole Biden joke, kind of fake Biden thing that went on for 4 years. Okay, that was really just a walk of shame for the Biden regime, I guess, or the Democrats, really. And all it did was, the whole time, I believe these guys were completely puppeted by White Hat Alliance. And in the background, who was pulling the strings were like Trump and as the front of the alliance and the White Hats. Okay, and that's so this card in the middle, he's showing the public something with this card in the middle, because that's what does the public see, that he's been in charge, because his hat has right on the side, and everyone jokes that, oh, it's a mistake, right? 45-47. So not comma and not and, okay, but a dash. So he's been in charge, okay, in the US, he's been in charge. He's been leading, okay, since 45, and he never stopped in 46. I'm sorry, he's the number 45th president, and he was 46, and he's now 47. Okay, and then other people will also comment that actually it's a republic, so we got whole other numbers, but I think that's for maybe more the normies, so they'll understand that he's been in the background all this time. Okay, so it's calming a lot of things. It's not just the one thing I asked about. So it's all of those things. Wow. Okay, so there's so much undercurrent things going on. It's really hard to follow. I've always, since the beginning of June, I've been saying this is going to be the trickiest month as far as like psyop after psyop, false flags, expect them. That's another interesting thing. He planted 2, so brand new, he paid for them flags and flagpoles, and he paid for them out of pocket, and he got all new flags made. Okay, and it's like he's reclaiming the White House. Okay, that was another interesting thing that he did. So he's reclaiming the White House. That's what I think he was doing with that. And maybe with the 2 flags, some people are saying he's warning about false flags? That's going to be my next question. So my next question is about the 2 flags that he put in front of the White House. Okay, one in the front and one, I believe, on the south lawn. So north and south lawn, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments where exactly they're put. But on 2 different sides of the White House, there are now 2 new U.S. flags, and they were created by, and I think we should probably look really closely and count those stars. I wonder if there's 51 of them. Where he's including Canada as the 51st state. But anyway, that'll be for another day. But let's ask, what's he saying with the 2 flags? So is he doing what I'm thinking? So I'll say it like that. Is he reclaiming? Because remember that DC was like London and like the Vatican, its own kind of country into itself. Basically, it's an entity that doesn't actually literally belong to the U.S., the corporation of the United States of America. Okay, but it did belong, or maybe he's reclaiming it back for the Republic, right? So anyway, it's also so fascinating. And it gets, I know, a little confusing, but let's see what he's talking about there. Is that what he's getting at? That he's putting these 2 flags sort of on either side of the White House? Is he actually saying, I'm reclaiming DC back to the people? Okay, because that was my interpretation on that. Let's have a look, see what the cards say. Thanks for coming up with that. I forgot to tell Coco I was going to look at the 2 flag situation. Good save on that, Coco, helping me out there. All right, let's have a look. We've got the Page of Cups. So there's a soft yes, so that's part of it. Okay, but there's also something about secret hidden things. So it could be about false flags, psyops. Okay, somehow psyops. Maybe he's undoing a spell too. He might be undoing a spell. He's doing this ritual of planting these 2 flags. Maybe there's protection to it. Okay, but he also could be cautioning about false flags and etc., because that's a psyop card, because a false flag is a psyop in a way, right? It's completely fooling people about something, right? A false flag literally means something is done, and it could be devastating, like 9/11, for instance. And then they name somebody else that did it, but they don't name who actually did it. And in the case of 9/11, of course, we know it was the government of the United States at the time, but acting on behalf of what appears to be, I believe, the deep state, otherwise known as maybe that country we were just talking about earlier. You know what I'm saying? Right? So a lot of things tie back to the Rothschilds created, by the way, they created Israel. And there's a video footage of that Rothschilds guy with the big egg head, what's his name again, talking about why and how they created Israel. Like it's literally a created illusion. Okay, so people living there may not even know that, right? And so it's not about the people living there. It's about the government and the fakery that was created around that and the trickery around that place and how they've been controlling all the governments ever since. But anyway, so here we've got the moon. And so it's definitely a soft yes on that, but there's more to it once again here. And I feel like there's going to be a really big, I would watch this summer, really big reveals about all of this stuff, you guys. Going into the summer, I feel like this is like, we're just starting the reveal. This is like the summer of huge secrets revealed. And Cliff High's been talking about secrets revealed. We're right in the thick of secrets being revealed. So many things are being revealed, and I feel like they're on their way to revealing big secrets about what's been going on under maybe the White House and or how the White House has maybe not even been used for the last 4 years when Biden was supposed to be there. They weren't even using the White House. There's all kinds of people keeping an eye on the White House, and weird things were going on and didn't look like anybody was living there. You know what I mean? Like just such weirdness going on. Okay, and all of it leading back to, this big information war we're in, this big reveal time that we're in. We're literally being told, and it's getting clearer and clearer, even from Trump's mouth. Okay, exactly what's actually going on with that tweet he did about Obama. All roads lead to Obama. Oh my goodness. I feel like they're about to tie all of these loose ends together and really, really start making sense of this. We're at the everything doesn't make very much sense right now, but I feel like it's all going to get tied together and make sense. But I think we got a few more months of keeping our eyes really sharp before that all happens. Wow. Okay. Thanks for looking at that with me, everybody. We got some things we want to talk about. Astral healing meditation with Jens. 10% with code HEALING10. And I think I said Jens, but you pronounce his name Jens. And I met him in person at the conference, and he's absolutely amazing. Like, even just being around his energy, you're around an old soul's energy. You know how that is. Yeah, he's a cool guy. Okay, so there's that. And then there's save 50% off. Like, if you ever wanted an insider access pass to watch all the Beyond the Newses, there's a public Beyond the News on the Rumble channel, but there's 2 other Beyond the Newses Jean-Claude and I do on the insider access pass. So this is a good one, and it's 50% off right now. So that's a steal of a deal. You want to check that out. Okay, so my second situation I want to look at. So a lot of people, so not really a situation, I'm really going to ask the universe, what do we need to know this weekend? Because a lot of people are expecting scary things to happen. Like, there's so much ramping up. And by the way, I just want you to notice that every maybe 3 weeks, maybe once a month, they ramp up a new war. Have you noticed that they've completely stopped talking about Russia and the Ukraine? Oh, all of a sudden, nobody's even talking about that, because now we're all looking over here at the Middle East. You know what I mean? And isn't it interesting that the guy they're saying is the supreme leader, okay, because I don't believe in supreme leaders of anybody, but calling himself the supreme leader in Iran. Okay, they're showing this guy that looked exactly the same in the 80s. And there's quite a lot of evidence that he actually was taken out in about 1986. They got the same guy running around, looks identical to what he looked like in the 80s. How does that make any sense? I feel like we're in a big, big movie on that one. Okay, I'm really, really not buying a lot of at least footage they're showing about what's going on and who the leader of Iran is. I'm like, chime in the comments if you guys know anything. I don't know too much about that area of the world, but chime in, please, because just using my common sense, I'm like, something's real fishy about what's going on over there. Okay, and or what they're saying is going on. Okay, we got to be so careful. Look what happened with the whole, like we found out everything about what they first originally told us about the Ukraine war or whatever it was. Okay, it wasn't true. It was Russia cleaning up the deep state out of Ukraine and cleaning out the tunneling, the child trafficking. It's unbelievable stuff that goes on. Ukraine was like the money laundering center for the US government when they were the deep state government. Right. And probably was doing that for the whole deep state all over the world. Okay. And it was also a playground for pedophiles. Ukraine, an incredible hub for moving human trafficking all around the world, in particular babies and children, baby farms, all kinds of disgusting things, biolabs. Okay. That's what Putin was trying to do, is clean that up. Okay, and I think he had done it, and it started way earlier than they said. They're showing things months after they actually happened. So just just to remind everybody what I've been getting in the cards. Okay, so that's what I've been getting in the cards. That's the short version of what I've been getting. Okay, so now we're looking at another situation that is, they got the same playbook with what's going on there. They're ramping it up and scaring the you know what out of everybody. And Europe's been on red alert. First, it was Russia was going to start a big war with all of Europe. Every time they talked to Putin, he was like, I have no plans to start a war with the UK. But the UK government and all the governments were like, oh, he's going to start a war, try to take all of Europe. No, he wasn't. He's actually a white hat. He works with the white hats, the guy that is playing Putin. By the way, they took out Putin. He was swapped out about 11 or 12 years ago. But anyway, that's another rabbit hole. You want to go down that? He's a white hat. Okay, so let's have a look at this weekend. What does the universe want you to know? Okay, never mind what they're telling you in mainstream media or even truther news. Some of the truther news is just a whole bunch of controlled opposition lately too. I'm just saying. Yeah, so let's have a look at what really do we need to pay attention to. Okay, it's going to be frustrating. It already is, and you're going to hear more war rhetoric. You better believe it, because fives can be war when you ask in political questions. And here we've got, but really there's see, this card says what they're saying, and here's what they're not saying. So there's a war going on. It's already going on, okay, but it's not the one they're making this big production out of. Okay, so it's not the one they're saying Israel and Iran are in and or starting, or the one Israel wants the US to be involved in. That's not the one. The real war, and you're watching it play out, is the information war. Okay, that's already ongoing. It's the White Hat Alliance against the deep state war. That's been going on for years. Okay. So they've got all of these things they got you looking at, but the underlying thing is not being openly talked about yet anyway. And like I said, Trump's been alluding to a lot of that stuff lately, wearing the white hat and saying the things he's been saying. Yeah, we're getting around to where that becomes common knowledge, by the way. But most of this community's known that for a long time. Okay, so here we've got this. We're going into the weekend. Remember that you manifest your reality. So what you focus on, she's focusing on comfort and abundance. That's what the Queen of Pentacles focuses on. She knows she's worthy. That's in her best place. So this is what you want to do going in. Focus on how you want it to go, not how it appears in the news. Okay, so in the face of all evidence to the contrary, think about something and believe in something as if it's the way you want it to be, not the way you are being told it is. So go away from the fear porn, like I'm saying here, and imagine the world in a way that you feel would be a good world to be in. Okay, that'll really help bring about your best results. Okay, here we've got the Hierophant in the middle. Okay, so what everybody else is seeing. So the good thing is this, whatever's going on and all of the sort of theater that's playing out in the politics is really educating a lot of people about who their real enemy is. So that's actually a good thing. Like 5 years ago, nobody would even dare speak out against what Israel's been doing, their government, not the people, the government of them. Okay, so what they've been doing all over the world and how they've planted people in all the governments, and basically they're the head of the deep state. Okay, so nobody'd even be like, you'd be anti-Semitic if you said that. Okay, so now people are really starting to go, you know what? These guys have been hiding behind that for a really long time. It's not even like, they're not even coming from the original, what people would be known as Jewish people. Do you know what I mean? So there's so many lies upon lies built on this just so they can get away with the stuff they've been getting away with. And it's starting to be revealed, and people are not afraid of just telling it like it is. Thank goodness. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, we'd still be in the enslaved state. Okay. We can break free when we're not afraid of these guys. Fear is what's been holding everybody at bay all of this time. Okay. So the near future is safety and caution going forward. So safety and caution, it'll ramp up. It'll absolutely ramp up and look really scary. Surrender to something's going to go on that looks really scary, okay? And it may be, I think a false flag's going to happen. I do believe it will this weekend, but it'll actually be not as, it'll look way worse than it is. Let's say that. It'll look way worse. So we need to really understand that you're being educated about what a false flag looks like, and how they start wars and how they get other countries into wars. It's like they're playing it out for you, okay, right in your face, okay? But I don't think literally does the U.S. literally get into the war. And then it feels like towards the end, I don't know if that's the weekend or is that 8 days from now? That's 8. So that could be hours, days, maybe weeks. Okay, weeks at the most with swords, but sometimes it's even hours. There's going to be, I feel like, a coming together. We might even see the Iranian leader, that guy they're saying is the leader. I don't know. Have a good look at that guy. Guys, look into that for me. Is that didn't he pass away in the 80s? Like, that guy can't be real. But anyway, so a lot of these people are not real anymore, right? Okay, so see that card there? It feels like maybe he'll even end up making a deal with that guy. And I'm talking about Trump, okay, or the guy playing Trump, because that's not the real Trump either, right? These are actors with masks on. Okay, so the real Trump, though, is safely somewhere and help and lead White Hat Alliance. That's what I believe. So whatever does appear to happen to Trump, because there's all these rumors going around about he's going to be hurt or whatever, it won't be real Trump, first of all, and likely it's a white hat psyop. Okay, I'm just saying, that's what everything's been leading to that. Every time I look at anything that's happened in the last 3 years, it's been a white hat psyop to teach us stuff. But anyway, so here we've got the Ace of Swords and the Fool. So there does seem to be, right at the last minute here, when things look really bad, a turnaround in the whole situation, and possibly an agreement of some kind. But so hold on to your hats, everybody. Have a good sense of humor, a little detachment. Try to see the big picture. Try to understand what you're being taught. Okay, and try not to stress. Maybe get some outdoor time.
Hiệu suất làm việc của đám thuế lại quả là nhanh hơn đám tuần kiểm bộ khoán dưới trướng hòa thời quan gấp cả chục lần. Chỉ trong tức khắc đã thấy bọn chúng hào hứng cầm trong tay cái gọi là tang vật trở ra. Trương Trung xoay người xuống ngựa, nhanh ngang đi vào công đường, ngạo nghễ ngồi vào bàn xử án, đập cái bộp thước gỗ xử án trúng bàn, quát lớn: Người đâu? Áp giải phạm quan Hoa Ngọc lên đây. Hoa Ngọc, người đã biết tội, nhận tội. Hoa Ngọc bị dẫn giải lên, bị ấn đến ngã xuống đất nhưng vẫn hiên ngang ngẩng đầu, cười lạnh vẻ khinh thường nói: Không có tội mà nhận. Trương Trung cười dữ tợn: Nhân chứng vật chứng đầy đủ, còn dám cứng đầu. Người đâu? Để ta đánh cho ta. Đến khi nào nhận tội thì thôi. Để ta. Mặt bên Kiều nhổ một bãi nước bọt vào lòng bàn tay, giật một cây gậy công đường trong tay một tên thuế lại, xoay xoay rồi đập cánh bồ một cái. Hôm nay, bọn chúng muốn tìm cớ để đánh chết Hoa Thời Quan ngay giữa công đường, lấy đó mà dơ uy, hòng răn đe toàn bộ Cố An để không ai còn dám chống lại nữa. Hoa Ngọc rơi lên một tiếng, cắn răng cắn lợi không nói một câu, toàn thân không kìm nổi giật cả đêm. Toán tuần kiểm binh lính xung quanh trong mặt tràn đầy hỏa khí, nhưng Hoa Ngọc biết thời cơ vẫn chưa tới, đánh nuốt trọn nỗi đắng cay này, không thể để thủ hạ phản kháng. Đoạn hít vào một hơi thật sâu, cười ha ha nói: Sảng khoái lắm, tiếp đi. 1, lại một gậy nữa. Trán Hoa Ngọc vã đầy mồ hôi, toàn thân co giật, rồi đột nhiên trợn mắt hét lớn một tiếng: "Dành con, ăn chưa no à? Lấy hết sức bình sinh ra mà đánh ông vài đêm này." Mộc Tú Tài đứng trước một chiếc án thư tại viện học hét lớn: "Các vị, đại sự gay go rồi, Hoa Thôi Quan để bảo vệ người dân chúng, không cho phép bọn thuế lại hoành hành bạo ngược, áp bức dân lành. Hiện giờ Trương Đột Gia đã đánh vài người dân bất khai nhận, hãm hại Hoa đại nhân ăn hối lộ. Ngay bây giờ đang giở trò tiểu nhân ngay giữa Thôi Quan phủ, muốn đánh chết Hoa đại nhân tại chỗ." Chúng môn sinh huyền học nghe vậy mà náo loạn. Hoa Ngọc làm quan thanh liêm, công bằng chất phác, luôn nhận được sự kính trọng của người dân, đặc biệt là những học sinh có thể vào viện học. Gia cảnh đều rất khá giả, người nào cũng sợ dẫm phải vết xe đổ của ngài Kính, thì Hoa Thôi Quan càng là cứu cánh của bọn họ. Đến nay nghe nói Trương Trung muốn trừ cử y, lập tức hoảng loạn hết cả lên. Một Tú Tài cao giọng nói: "Thưa vị Thiên Tài, chúng ta không thể ngồi dưng mắt nhìn Trương Trung hãm hại trung thần như vậy. Theo vô ý của đệ, chúng ta cần lập tức đi gặp Trương Trung, nói rõ ông ta dân ý của toàn bách tính cô Anh, không để tùy ý làm bừa. Hoa Thôi Quan nếu như bị kẻ gian hãm hại thì lũ giặc có gia tâm như thế sẽ không còn biết sợ gì cả. Chỉ e chưa quân rồi cũng đến tình cảnh chết không có chỗ trốn thôi." "Hay, Mộc đại ca nói hay lắm, ta đi cùng huynh, chúng ta đi tìm Trương Trung nói đi đã." Bên dưới bắt đầu có người hưởng ứng, trong chốc lát cả viện học như nước sôi ủng ngục, ngay cả đến bị thầy giáo đức ca vọng trọng cũng cua lấy cả nước xông ra ngoài đường. Đoàn biểu tình vừa đi vừa hô to khẩu hiệu. Những người dân nghe tin Hoa Thôi Quan xác định người ta đánh chết Trương Đột Gia muốn ép khô cái cố an này, lập tức đồng loạt hưởng ứng. Người tham gia ngày một đông, khẩu hiệu hô hào vẫn ngày càng kịch liệt. Không biết từ lúc nào do ai cầm đầu mà đã từ thà tự do Hoa Thôi Quan trả lời ăn lành cho cố an biến thành đánh chết Trương Đột Gia, đuổi cổ cầu thứ hại. Đoàn biểu tình chỉ có mấy chục môn sinh đã rất nhanh biến thành một đội ngũ khổng lồ với hơn 2.000 người. Bọn họ hô hô gậy gộc, cuốc xẻng, bàn cào phân, trong tay cầm gạch đá nói vỡ. Những khuôn mặt thật thà đôn hậu này đã bị thay thế bởi sự dữ tợn, trùng trùng điệp điệp xông tới Thôi Quan phủ. Một cuộc bạo động đã bùng phát. Bá Châu phủ, Dương Lăng đắp hai chân lên bắt chéo, thanh cạn uống trà. Tiếc thật, kể ra là có người đóng góp vai trò thì tốt. Dương Lăng tiếc nuối quay đầu nhìn lại một cái, thấy Tống Tiểu Ái với cặp mắt lạnh lùng đang nhìn về phía trước, lập tức bỏ đi cái ý đồ đen tối này. Nếu mà tuyển tên nàng ta thì phải động chân động tay, không chừng bị đấm hộc máu chứ. Còn Bạch Ly nhẫn lại cười vội nói: "Cô cậu, đây là một cặp bình hai phượng, nghe nói là của năm trinh quan đời Đường, thế nào cũng phải đáng giá 5.000 lượng bạc, ngài xem." Dương Lăng đợi lấy một cái cầm lên xem. Màu ngọc ấm áp trơn tru, đường điêu khắc đẹp đẽ tinh xảo, còn về có đáng tiền hay không thì hắn nhìn không ra. Dù sao thì để kéo dài thời gian, Dương Lăng nhẹ nhàng xếp lên bàn nói: Đây bồng chùy, ngươi nhìn xem." Phan Chí Châu năm cái bộ dạng của tên đại bồng chùy kia, bất giác mắt chữ O mồm chữ A nói: "Là vị này, bộ dạng này y hiểu gì về đồ cổ?" Chỉ thấy đại bồng chùy cầm cái bình long phượng lên, xoay ngang ngắm nghía, xoay dọc ngắm nghía, rồi nhắm mắt một cái lại nhìn vào bên trong bình. Sau đó vung bàn tay thô kệch đập mấy cái vào bình, làm cho Phan Chí Châu sợ hết hồn hết vía. Đại bồng chùy xem xong vẻ tiếc nuối lắc đầu, đặt bình lên trên bàn. Y bỗng nhìn thấy một cái hũ bụng tròn miệng rộng màu đen mực, tươi cười rạng rỡ cầm lên khen: "Cái bình vừa nãy không ra gì, cái này tốt, quốc công ngài xem cái hũ này." Đại bồng chùy lấy ngón tay búng vài cái, chiếc hũ phát ra âm thanh của kim thạch khá là êm tai. "Cái hũ này tốt ạ." Phan Chí Châu lộ rõ vẻ kinh ngạc. Nom cái phương pháp phân biệt đồ cổ của cái thằng lỗ mãng này hơi nghiệp dư. Nào ngờ ý chính là người trong nghề. Cái hũ này nhìn thì chẳng có gì thu hút, nhưng lại là đồ cổ từ thời Chiến Quốc, là thứ dị vào có tiền cũng khó mà mua được. Phan Chí Châu thèm nhòn dãi cái hũ này từ lâu, vốn muốn đặt nó ở chỗ không ai để ý, giới thiệu bừa vài câu cho qua, đợi khi nào Dương Lăng bán đấu giá thì ra người mua nó về. Giờ thì Phan Chí Châu chỉ còn cách chịu đau đớn bước lên, nói rõ nhìn lại lai lịch giá tiền ước tính của cái hũ đó. Dương Lăng nghe giá phải cao hơn gấp 5-6 lần cặp bình lăng phượng bằng ngọc kia thì không phải kinh ngạc nói, quả nhiên là thứ tốt. Dương Lăng nhìn Lưu Đại Bồng Trì không kìm nổi lòng nói, cái thằng ngốc này, ngươi giả ngô hay là ngốc thật đấy? Bảo là ngươi ngốc nhưng lại có những lúc nói những câu làm người ta kinh ngạc, thật là khó hiểu. Lưu Đại Bồng Trì nghe thấy cái đồ vật mà mình nhắm trúng quả nhiên là đồ tốt thì tuét miệng rộng ra, cười nói, ta đã nói rồi bà, hai cái bình bỏ đi kia đẹp thì có đẹp nhưng mà cùng lắm cũng chỉ cắm được 2 cành đào, nhiều hơn là nhét không vừa, vẫn là cái hũ này tốt, ít nhiều cũng phải muối được 5-6 cân dưa. Phụt, Dương Lăng phun cả hớp nước trà ra, Phan Chi Châu tránh không kịp, con vào dính trọn bụng nước. Dương Lăng sặc đến ho sù sụ ra dấu tay. Trong chốc lát không thể nói được lời xin lỗi. Tống Tiểu Ái đứng sau thì cười khanh khách. Phan đại nhân khó chịu phủi phủi áo vào nhưng mà không dám nói lời gì bất kính. Đúng vào lúc này, một người thở không ra hơi chạy vào trong nhà kho, bịch một cái quỳ ngay xuống đất, vã vội mồ hôi, thở hồng hộc nói: Chi Châu đại nhân, vào động Cố An, hơn 1000 người dân xông vào Thôi Quan Phủ, mặc đơn kiều và hơn chục tuế lại bỏ chạy không kịp, đã bị bảo dân đánh đến chết, lấy nông cụ phanh thây, thê thảm lắm mà. Trấn chủ Trương Công Công bỏ chạy về Sở Thuế lại, bảo dân lại tập kích Sở Thuế lại, cướp đi những cổ nhân trốn thuế bị bắt, nhà cửa, kiệu quan, bàn ghế và nhiều vật dụng khác đều bị đốt sạch, đám ti phòng tham tùy đều bị đánh trọng thương, hấp hối chờ chết. Đến nay Phan Chi Châu nghe mà hồn bay phách lạc, dậm chân nói: Thế còn Trương Công Công? Hiện giờ Trương Công Công ở đâu? Trương Công Công dẫn người chạy trốn về phía Bá Châu, bảo dân cầm gậy tre nói truy sát không tha. Đến Tân Trang thì Trương Công Công bị bảo dân đuổi kịp, chỉ còn cách vào trang tránh nạn, chiếm được một nhà đứng trong trấn. Rằng con với đám bảo dân, tiểu dân là do Kiều Chi huyện cử đến cầu cứu huyện ạ. Phan Bạch Linh nghe xong cũng ngây người ra. Dưới sự quản lý của mình là để xảy ra bạo dân làm loạn, việc này mà triều đình truy cứu ra, còn Trương Công Công ngộ nhỡ có bất chắc gì thì phải làm sao đây? Và Trinh Châu nghĩ tới đây thì lo lắng như kia trên màu da. Đừng làm ho khan một tiếng nói với Phan Chi Châu: Phan đại nhân hoảng sợ cái gì? Trương Công Công lâm vào hiểm nguy thì cũng phải sai người tới cứu ông ta ra. Hàng ngàn bạo dân chân ra chỉ còn cách để Giang Du Kích xuất mã rồi. Ông nói xem. Đúng. Phan Bạch Ly bị lời này làm rất tỉnh ngộ, liên tục nói: Đà tạ quốc công nhắc nhở, hào quan sai người dục Giang Du Kích tới thương lượng ngay bây giờ. Sư gia mau sai người tới binh doanh mời các đại nhân tới đây. Sư gia vội hỏi: Lão già, Giang Du Kích đang ở trong thành. 2 hôm nay ông ta đang hay tới Đại Long. Nửa canh giờ trước mới gửi cho tiểu nhân một tờ giấy vào tới Đại Long rồi. Phan Chi Châu giữ người ra nói: Gã là Du Kích tướng quân, không phải là Thôi Quan. Đến Đại Long lắm thế làm gì? Chẳng lẽ có thân bằng cô hữu nào phạm tội nên tới thăm chăng? Lúc này cũng chẳng thể nào nghĩ được nhiều nữa, khi vội dậm chân nói: Vậy càng tốt, mau lên đích thân người đi, lập tức tìm Giang Du Kích về đây cho bản quan. Dương Lăng chậm rãi nâng chén trà